Many would describe Silithus as the armpit of Azeroth, the gloomiest, creepiest, least pleasant corner of the entire world. I journeyed there on reports that help was needed here, that the Cenarian circle of druids were busy dealing the machinations of crazed cultists, along with swarms of the bug things called Silithids. Immediately I could feel the oppressiveness in the air. There was no war in Silithus, just a pregnant stillness that seemed ready to explode into violence at any moment, but seldom did. Even the air here had a creeping quality, distant stench of sweet but rotten things, a clingy feeling that never seemed to go away. Close by, I could see the enormous hives of the Silithid, swarming with masses of tiny life forms, so thick that at points I could barely see the chitinous structures beneath. Their pits lay everywhere too, huge orifices in the earth that extruded pincers so great they could have swallowed up my home village had it been here. I sat for a while, observing these things, these throngs of insects that seemed to operate so effortlessly in their work. They seemed not to fit in on the earthy continent of Kalimdor. Sure, we had our insects, but these were different somehow. Alien, as if birthed on one of the distant stars in the night sky. They seemed to work on a kind of intelligence, though it was not like ours. Were they like the bees, operating on a collective mind, serving not as individuals, but working as a whole? Or did they serve something greater? Some insidious and invisible intellect lurking beyond sight? I found little clues as to their true nature. My work here only seemed to scratch the surface of Silithus. In truth, the druids had little for me to do, and the missions they had for me seemed slow-going and ponderous things. Other than creeping horrors buried beneath sight, this land seemed to offer little. It was a dreadful place, in truth, and if a place could somehow mix the qualities of dull and terrifying into one, this was it. At the Cenarian Hold, I was already hearing talk of something occurring in the Blasted Lands, a continent away. They had even opened a portal to there, as if someone was urging me away from Silithus and towards some more bountiful places. Still, I decided to spend one more night there. I found myself in a dream, its character so vivid as to be real. I was in Silithus, yet it was somehow changed, the sky above more oppressive than ever, the shadows longer, and all around me I could feel a presence, crawly and hateful and watching, ever watching. I was pulled along, dragged by an unseen force across the air, until I found myself among the cyclopean ruins of the south, their construction twisted and bizarre, far more ancient than any of this young world. Further still, I was drawn into unholy temple, the undercroft filled with the perverse ichor and chitin of the Silithid. I saw caverns of warped flesh, tunnels of undulating, creeping life, obscene to behold. Here they dwelt in the thousands, crawling over floor and wall and one another, the monstrous spawn of Silithus. But worse things still, towering alien beings beyond mere words to describe. And at the very center of that cavern of horrors awaited what might be described as the apotheosis of all monstrosity. I beheld a single eye that would dwarf a house, surrounded by flailing tentacles of similar scale. To that eye I was drawn, to its pitiless gaze that spoke not of compassion or empathy, but rather a detached and alien intellect, so vast and pervasive that it felt like an ocean of mind compared to our mortal pools, yet so foreign that its thoughts could be neither spoken nor grasped. It was the essence of madness, and all around me its enormous presence throbbed and seethed. Was this some ancient god, awakening at last? Or was it some dark corner of my own mind, revealing one last terrible secret to me before I finally snapped and fell into a numbing embrace of insanity. I did not find out, at least not then. I woke in my bed in the Cenarian hold, covered in a cold sweat, my skin shivering. That morning I departed for the blasted lands, stepping through the portal. Silithus was behind me, though the mystery of that dream and what lay behind it remained, lingering for quite some time in the back of my head.